Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. This is my fake news network sign. When I put up my fake news network sign, it's because there's fake news afoot. CNN, MSNBC puts out big stories. These big news networks put out this massive splashy headline. We got them! We got them! We've been screaming about Trump and Russia for a year and we finally got them. Oh, no. Nope. It was fake news. It was fake news. Take a look at this. This is awesome. This is fake news in action.
News.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kate Baldwin. More emails, more problems for Donald Trump Jr. and the Russia investigation. CNN has exclusive new details about a message sent in the final stretch of the 2016 campaign offering access to hacked WikiLeaks documents. A previously undisclosed effort to reach Donald Trump himself, his son, and his inner circle just weeks before the election. This comes, of course, on top of...
She's so attractive. It has to be true. She's so polished. She's like a perfect polished person. And when I'm saying attractive, I don't care if it's man or woman on this. They spiffy guys up also, and the guys sparkle when they're telling their stories. These are professional people, and they're on national television, and the things that are coming out their mouth, they have to be true. They don't have to be true. This is fake news. This is fake news. Let it keep going.
Other new evidence of follow-ups to the famous Trump Tower meeting between Don Jr. and a Russian lawyer. Follow-ups that he had promised when he had promised there weren't any. Let's get over to CNN's senior congressional correspondent, Manu Raju. Manu, there's a lot that you have gotten in the past day plus. Lay out your new reporting today on this effort to give Trump access to WikiLeaks documents.
I don't have to have this guy embarrass himself, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have him embarrass himself. I don't want this man to shame himself on television and what he's about to do. This is fucking amazing. So this is Glenn Greenwald of The Intercept. I always say Glenn is a lion. Yeah, I always say Glenn is a lion. I like the guy. I'm not going to read the entire article. I will leave the article at the bottom, but I'll start here. This, in fact, let's just show. If we can get it over there. And good. The spectacle began on Friday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern when most trusted name in news, that's supposed to be CNN. He's talking about CNN. You wouldn't know that because, you know, they fail so much. Spent 12 straight minutes on air flamboyantly hyping an exclusive bombshell report that seemed to prove that WikiLeaks last September had secretly offered the Trump campaign, even Donald Trump himself, special access to the DNC emails before they were published on the internet. As CNN sees the world, this will prove the collusion between Trump family and WikiLeaks and, more importantly, between Trump and Russia, since the U.S. intelligence community regards WikiLeaks as an arm of Russian intelligence, and therefore, so does the U.S. media. Understand what he's saying. The intelligence services of the United States has a perspective, and we don't even know if it's all the intelligence service. It was a bunch of handpicked people in order to come out with a particular narrative, but whatever. They have a perspective. CNN and the other news networks just say, this is their perspective, this is okay, this must be the way the world is. Is media supposed to just automatically take what the arm of the government has to say on this stuff? Does media have a perspective? Isn't the point of media to be skeptical of the stuff that comes out of Washington? Why is media just all of a sudden, they said it, it has to be true. CIA, FBI, these guys have never lied to us in any capacity at all. What they're telling us is essentially the word of God. It's essentially the word of God. It's fucking insane. At which point did media become state media? At which point did media become state media? Let's keep going. The entire revelation was based on an email which CNN strongly implied it had exclusively obtained and in possession. The email was sent by somebody named Michael Erickson, someone nobody had heard of previously and whom CNN could not identify, to Donald Trump Jr. offering a decryption key and access to DNC emails that WikiLeaks had uploaded. The email was a smoking gun in CNN's extremely excited mind because it was dated September 4th, just 10 days before WikiLeaks began promoting access to the emails online, and thus proved that the Trump family was being offered special unique access to the DNC archives, likely by WikiLeaks and the Kremlin. Let's keep going. The email was dated September. The email was not dated September 4th, the CNN claimed, but rather September 14th, which means that it was sent after WikiLeaks had already published access to the DNC emails online. Thus, rather than offering some sort of special access to Donald Trump, Michael J. Erickson was simply some random person from the public encouraging the Trump family to look at the publicly available DNC emails on WikiLeaks, as everyone by then already knew had publicly promoted. In other words, the email was exactly the opposite of what CNN was presented as being. The most trusted name in news. This video is 12 minutes long, and she is immensely excited. The most interesting part about this is that CNN kept saying that it was sourced. Like, they kept saying, hey, we got this from multiple sources. We got this from multiple sources. You got fake news from multiple sources. Multiple sources was feeding you fake news. That's fucking amazing. That's fucking amazing. You have one job. One job. We have one job. Get it right. I mean, why do you fail this much? Like, Donald Trump has been screaming at the top of his lungs about fake news. Donald Trump lies as easily as breathing, and yet this is fake news. Over and over and over again, you guys have been caught pushing out fake news. And the fake news has only gone in one direction. He's guilty. He's guilty. Oh, we got him this time. Oh, we got him this time. Joy Behar on The View screaming in elation. Yes! We got him. We've spent 12 months pushing a story where there is no smoking gun evidence for. You spent 12 months pushing a narrative. At which point does it become a conspiracy theory? At which point? Over and over again, the media comes out with fake news, and that fake news continuously goes in one specific direction. We got him! Oh, I'm sorry, we don't. We were wrong. We were wrong. How do you fail this much, and why are you failing this much in one particular direction? That's my question. Why do you fail in one specific direction? I mean, is this the media trying to cover its ass, and so each and everything that comes out is just jumps the gun because it wants to take them off? This is amazing. I wish you would have had this adversarial journalism when Obama was in office. Why all of a sudden did it change with Trump? What is your job? Is your job to take out the president of the United States? And if that's so, why weren't you this adversarial with the last president? Why? Well, I get Donald Trump is grotesque. But in one news story after the next, you've been pushing out fake news as if you have a dog in the hunt. As if you're not the objective journalist who's looking at the president of the United States do and say gross things. And all of a sudden, for some reason, you act as if he's doing something that other than other Republicans would do. He's a gross Republican. Republicans are gross in general. My point in this is that so are Democrats. It just seems like there's a lot of fake news. And the fake news continuously, always, inevitably, inextricably, one direction. One direction. Are you jumping the gun, or are you incompetent? Explain to me which one. Explain to me which one. I don't know which one. Explain to me which one. You couldn't tell the date between the 14th versus the 4th. Are you fucking kidding me? You can make millions of dollars. The 14th versus the 4th. And nobody went behind the person to make sure that what the person was talking about was right. And yet, you have multiple sources give you wrong information. Just a bunch of incompetent people and interacting with one another. Either CNN is lying, which is somewhat of a big deal in and of itself that they would lie on such a grand scale as this, or CNN was getting fake news from other people who were just as incompetent as their person who couldn't tell the difference between a 14 and a 4. Which one is it? Which one is it? Are you just attacking this guy because you dislike this guy because he continuously calls you fake news? Or are you incompetent? Explain to me which one, bias or incompetence. Pick your pony. A little bit of both is acceptable. But there has to be a reason why you're failing this much and why this failure is always in one specific direction. And look, greedy, maybe another part of it too. I mean, what does it look like when you can put asses in seats because you keep saying you have this huge big story and all this other stuff? I'm just saying, integrity doesn't seem to be a part of this process. So I will leave it at that. And yeah, maybe it could be a fuck up. The question then becomes, how many fuck ups did you have in the prior years? I mean, how often do you fuck up this much? Is this a normal amount of fucking up? I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that. I love it, though, that Washington Post comes out and says, yeah, that's not true. The Washington Post comes out with their story later on. Yeah, that's not true. CNN and all these other mainstream media networks just gave you fake news on an epic scale. I will leave it at that. All right, guys. If you enjoy the content, feel free to share, like, subscribe, and, of course, you can always support the Patreon. Thanks, guys.